Hey there, today on What Do You Make of This, we are shaking up steamed rice using stock, herbs, and spices. I'm Jessica. Let's get cooking. Steamed rice is such a popular side dish. It's quick, it's easy, it also gets boring pretty fast. So I have a couple of tips for you to help shake up your regular steamed rice. We're going to be using some stock, some herbs and spices, and by the time you're done with this dish, it will rival anything that can come out of a package. Let me show you how. I'm going to start in a warm pot by just adding a tablespoon of butter, and we're going to get that melting. To this melted butter, I'm going to add a cup of rice. Now, my rice is a mixture of rice and grains. I'm just using it because it's pretty. You can use whatever you want. White rice, brown rice, wild rice, whatever you've got in your pantry, it will all work for this recipe. So I'm going to measure out 1 cup of rice. Directly over the butter. Just get the lid back on that here. And all you're going to do to start is just move the rice around in this melting butter until everything is nice and coated. You can certainly take it long enough to actually start toasting the rice, and if you take it that way, you'll notice the rice will actually start to get more and more golden brown. You can cook it for as long as you like to. For this one though, because I'm trying to just keep it a really light but different flavor profile, I'm just going to cook it long enough for each individual grain of rice to absorb some of that butter. It will also help keep the rice from clumping together while it cooks, and again, it just makes it a little bit different from what you're used to in regular steamed white rice. So I'm going to move this around on the heat for just a minute. Yeah, these rice blends that you can get at the grocery store now are so much fun. They have them with wild rice, with all sorts of different grains, and if you can score them on sale, I find that very often they're about the same price as regular rice. So keep an eye out for them, and if you see them on sale, give it a try. It's just another way to change things up, but I love plain white rice just as much as the next person does, so you use what you have. It's okay. All right, so the butter is nicely melted into that rice now. So to this, I am going to be adding 2 cups of stock, and you use whatever kind of stock you like. Tonight, I'm going to be using chicken stock. Measure out 2 cups of it. So basically the ratio is for every 1 cup of rice you use, you're going to use 2 cups of liquid. Whatever kind of liquid you want, like I said today for this specific recipe, we are doing stock. But if you stick to that 1-to-2 ratio, you'll get perfect rice every time. So this is going into the pot. And what we are going to look for is just this stock to come to a boil. While it's heating up, we are going to add some herbs and spices to that. My stock already has salt added to it, so I'm personally not adding any salt to this, but if you are using any kind of stock that has no salt added or is a low sodium, you may want to adjust this ever so slightly and add salt to your taste. So to this, I am going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. You can see I'm kind of eyeballing it here. It's the nice thing about spice is it's pretty hard to go overboard on a lot of spice unless you take all of this and just dump it into the pot. So if you're ever in doubt, if you're still getting a feel for how much spice you like, certainly just give this broth a try and add and subtract as you need to. Or, well, it's a little harder to take it out once you've put it in, so start low. You can always build on top of it. This is just Italian seasoning. It's a mixture of basil, thyme, oregano, rosemary. I'm going to just put a teaspoon of that straight into the pot. This is plain old dried parsley. This is a tablespoon. That's going into the pot. I recommend dried spices for this because what's going to happen is it's actually going to infuse the stock and almost make kind of an herbal tea. And that's what's going to make such a really nice tasting rice. It's got a lot more flavor to it. You can certainly try using fresh herbs if you've already got them in your fridge anyway. It's not gonna hurt anything, but I do find that you get a much stronger, more potent herb flavor in the rice if you start with dried. So we're gonna move that around. I'm going to get my heat up on full strength, and all we're looking for at this point is that stock to come to a boil. It doesn't need to be a full rolling boil, so as you can see right here, we're just starting to get a couple of little bubbles starting. That's right where we need it to be. So all you have to do at this point, clap a lid on, Turn your heat down to low, very low as it will go. And you're just going to let this sit for 20 minutes. I do want to warn you, if you are using brown rice, it has a longer cook time, so check your packages. I find most brands usually take between 30 to 40 minutes, but just about every other rice on the planet, 20 minutes will do you. So lid on, do not take that lid off until the timer goes off. We'll have a look at it in just a few. All right, so 20 minutes is up. Let's have a look and see how it's doing. Watch for that steam or you will get a free facial with every batch of rice. So I'm just going to move the rice out of the middle, and what we are looking for is just the bottom of the pot to be dry, which it is. That's how you know it's ready. So give this a nice mix just to get all of those nice herbs incorporated. Help get the rice a little fluffier. There we go. It's already got a lot more texture than a normal batch of steamed white rice would. And I'm just going to take this and we will pour it out onto a nice little platter. Look how pretty that is. That is a nice shaken up batch of rice ready to eat when you are. And there we have it. In almost the same amount of time it took to make regular steamed rice, we now have a chicken and herb rice that is anything but boring. This recipe can be found in the description below. Please like and subscribe for more videos. I'm Jessica. Thanks for watching.